Look at other people's husbands. Why cannot you be at least a little like them? My wife told me after comparing me to every man we know for months. But when I finally met those perfect husbands and learned what their lives really looked like, everything about our marriage suddenly made sense. M34, married to Claire, F31, for 7 years. I'm an insurance adjuster in Phoenix, make decent money. We own our home, no debt except mortgage. I thought we had a solid life, but apparently I'm wrong about everything. Last Saturday we had dinner with our friends Jason and Melissa Torres. Jason works in pharmaceutical sales, drives a BMW. They just got back from Italy. During dinner, Jason was telling stories about his job, the clients he wines and dines, the conferences he goes to. Claire was hanging on every word. That sounds so exciting, she kept saying. Dean's job is so routine. On the drive home, she was quiet. I asked what was wrong. Nothing's wrong, she said. I'm just thinking. About what? About how different our lives could be. What do you mean? She turned to me at a red light. Look at Jason. He's ambitious. He travels. He provides this amazing lifestyle for Melissa. Why can't you be even a fraction like that? I felt like I'd been punched. Claire, I work hard. I provide for us. We have a good life. Do we? When's the last time we went anywhere? When's the last time you surprised me with something nice? Jason bought Melissa that necklace just because it was Tuesday. We went to Sedona last month, a weekend trip 2 hours away. They go to Europe. I didn't know what to say. We sat in silence the rest of the way home. This isn't the first time she's done this. Last month it was our neighbor Mark who renovated his entire kitchen himself. He's so handy, so capable, you can't even hang a picture straight. Before that it was her co-worker's husband who started his own business. He took risks. He bet on himself. You just stay safe. I'm starting to feel like I can't do anything right. Every social event turns into a comparison session afterward. Every success story she hears becomes evidence of my failures. I just want more for us, she said when I brought it up. Is that wrong, to want my husband to be motivated, to be impressive? Am I really that disappointing to you? I asked. You're fine, Dean. You're just fine. And fine isn't enough anymore. I've been thinking about this for days. Am I really that mediocre? Should I be doing more? I love Claire, and if she needs more from me, I want to give it to her. But I also don't understand what suddenly made our life so inadequate. How do I become the husband she wants? What am I missing? Edit. Some people asking about our financial situation. We're comfortable. I make $78K. She works part-time real estate and brings in maybe $25K depending on the market. We're not struggling, but we're not luxury lifestyle either. Edit 2. Yes, I've tried asking her specifically what she wants me to change, but she just says everything, or, I shouldn't have to tell you. Update 1. I decided to take action. If Claire needed me to be more like these other guys, I'd figure out how. I started working overtime to increase our income. Signed up for a project management certification course. Downloaded apps about wine and travel planning. I even looked into sales jobs like Jason's. Good, Claire said when I told her. It's about time. But then Wednesday happened. We were at a barbecue at her sister's house. Her brother-in-law Kevin was showing off his new motorcycle, talking about the weekend rides he takes through the mountains. That's so cool, Claire said. I wish Dean was adventurous like that. Babe, I could look into getting a bike. You? You won't even drive in the fast lane. Everyone laughed, but I felt humiliated. When we got home, she started again. See? That's what I'm talking about. Kevin lives life fully. He takes chances. Claire, I'm taking your business course. I'm working extra hours. That's work stuff. I'm talking about who you are as a person. Kevin has this energy, this excitement about life. You just exist. The next day, she showed me Instagram photos from her college friend's wedding anniversary party. Look at this, she said, scrolling through pictures. Brad surprised Emma with a flash mob proposal recreation for their 5-year anniversary. When's the last time you surprised me? Your birthday dinner last month. Taking me to Olive Garden isn't a surprise, Dean. It's Tuesday night. I started writing down names. Jason, Mark, Kevin, Brad. her co-worker's husband Tom, who runs marathons, our friend Dave, who plays guitar, her cousin's fiancé, who speaks 3 languages. I'm trying to be better, I told her after 2 weeks of overtime and studying. I'm doing everything you said. You're trying to check boxes, she said. I can't make you into someone interesting. Either you have it or you don't. What exactly do I not have? Passion, drive, confidence. The ability to make me feel proud when people ask about my husband. That one hurt. You're not proud of me? I'm proud of our stability, but that's not the same thing. Reddit. I don't know who I am anymore. I've been so focused on trying to become all these other guys that I can't remember what I was like before this started. I look in the mirror and think, what would Jason do? Instead of making my own decisions. My brother Rick came over last weekend and barely recognized me. Dude, you're wearing a polo shirt. You hate polo shirts. And why are you talking about wine pairings? Claire likes when I sound sophisticated. Since when do you care about sounding sophisticated? You used to make fun of guys who talked about wine pairings. I couldn't answer that. I don't remember when I stopped being myself. The worst part? Nothing I've changed has been enough. There's always another guy doing something better, some new standard I'm failing to meet. How many other husbands do I have to become before my own wife accepts the one she married? Edit. A lot of people saying this sounds like emotional abuse. I never thought about it that way. She's not screaming at me or calling me names. She just wants better. Edit 2. Someone asked if I've talked to any of these better husbands. Honestly, I've been too embarrassed. What do I say? Hey, my wife thinks you're everything I'm not. Update 2. You guys were right about a lot of things, and I'm honestly shaken by what I discovered. Last Thursday, I ran into Jason at the grocery store. He looked terrible, tired, stressed, hadn't shaved in days. We ended up talking for over an hour in the parking lot. Man, I've been meaning to call you, he said. I heard through Melissa that Claire's been, holding me up as some kind of example. I felt my face get hot. Yeah, she mentions how successful you are sometimes. Successful? He laughed bitterly. Dean, we're getting divorced. Papers were filed last week. I was stunned. What? But you guys seem so happy. The Italy trip, the BMW. The Italy trip maxed out our credit cards. The BMW, leased, and we're behind on payments. I work 70-hour weeks traveling constantly, barely see Melissa, and when I do, we fight about money. But the lifestyle is all smoke and mirrors, man. We're drowning in debt trying to look successful. I actually envied you guys at dinner. You seemed so settled, content. Content. Yeah, like you actually enjoy being around each other. Melissa and I haven't had a real conversation in months. It's all about image, keeping up appearances, who's doing better than who on Instagram. I felt like the ground was shifting under me. But Claire thinks your marriage is perfect. Based on what? Social media posts? The show we put on at dinner parties? Melissa's been having an affair with her yoga instructor for 3 months. Found out when I came home early from a business trip. We talked until the store started closing. Jason told me he'd been taking Adderall to keep up with work demands, barely sleeping, having panic attacks. The exciting pharmaceutical sales job was slowly killing him. The worst part, he said. I kept thinking if I could just make more money, travel to better places, buy nicer things, Melissa would be happy, but she just found new things to be unsatisfied about. I drove home in a daze. Claire was on the couch scrolling through Facebook. You'll never guess who I ran into, I said. Who? Jason Torres. Did you know he and Melissa are getting divorced? She looked up from her phone. What? No way. They just posted pictures from Napa last month. Apparently they're broke. The whole lifestyle is financed with credit cards. Claire frowned. That doesn't make sense. He drives a BMW. It's leased. Jason said they're behind on payments. I watched her process this. For a moment, she looked confused, like a fundamental assumption about reality had been challenged. Well, she said finally, that doesn't change anything about us, doesn't it? You've been comparing me to him for months, saying I should be more like him. I never said you should be exactly like Jason. Claire, last weekend you asked me why I couldn't be even a fraction like him. Now I find out he's having panic attacks and his wife is cheating on him. She put her phone down. Look, just because their marriage failed doesn't mean there's nothing to learn from how he approached his career. His career is destroying his health and his marriage. You're missing the point, Dean. What is the point? Because I'm honestly lost here. She was quiet for a long time. Then, the point is, I want to feel excited about my life, about my husband. I want to feel like we're going somewhere. Where do you want to go? I don't know. Somewhere better than this. That's when it hit me. It's not about Jason or Kevin or any of the other guys. It's about Claire never being satisfied with what we have. There will always be another couple to envy, another husband to compare me to, another reason our life isn't good enough. I'm calling a marriage counselor tomorrow. Not to learn how to be better, but to figure out if this marriage can survive Claire's need for everyone else's life except ours. Edit. Some people asking about the other perfect examples she's given me. I'm honestly scared to look too closely, but now I'm curious. Edit 2. Yes. I told Claire about the marriage counselor. She said, finally, maybe a professional can explain what I've been trying to tell you. Final update. We've been to 3 couples therapy sessions with Dr. Martinez. Claire agreed to go because she thought the therapist would validate her concerns about my lack of ambition. Session 1 was mostly Claire explaining how disappointed she was in our life. She brought up Jason, Kevin, Mark, and several other guys as examples of what she wished I could be. I just want him to be motivated, she told Dr. Martinez. I want to feel proud when people ask about my husband. Dr. Martinez asked her some interesting questions. When you compare Dean to these other men, how does he respond? He gets defensive. And then what happens? Well, sometimes he tries to improve himself. And when he makes those improvements, how do you respond? Claire paused. I encourage him to keep going. By bringing up new examples of other men doing things differently. Another pause. I guess so. Yes. Dr. Martinez turned to me. Dean, how does it feel when Claire compares you to other men? Like I'm failing a test I didn't know I was taking, I said. Like nothing I do is ever enough. That's when Dr. Martinez said something that changed everything. Claire, what you're describing is a pattern of systematic comparison designed to make Dean feel inadequate. That's a form of emotional manipulation. Claire got defensive. I'm not manipulating anyone. I'm trying to motivate him. By consistently telling him other men are better than him? By showing him what's possible. But Dean, you said you've made changes based on these comparisons. Have any of those changes led to Claire's satisfaction? No, I admitted. There's always someone new doing something different. Dr. Martinez looked at Claire. Can you name 3 things about Dean that you're grateful for? Claire struggled with this. Really struggled. She came up with he's reliable, and he pays the bills on time, and couldn't think of a 3rd thing. Can you name 3 things about Jason that impressed you? She immediately listed 6 things. Do you see the problem here? Dr. Martinez asked. Session 2 was even more revealing. Dr. Martinez asked Claire to describe her ideal husband. Someone exciting, someone successful, someone who takes charge and makes things happen. Describe Dean when you first met him. He was sweet, funny, easy to be around, steady. Were those qualities important to you then? Yes, I guess. I thought I wanted stability. And now? Now I want more. More of what, specifically? Claire couldn't answer. She kept saying more, but couldn't define what that meant. Dr. Martinez explained something called hedonic adaptation, the tendency for people to get used to positive changes and return to baseline happiness. She said Claire was chasing an impossible standard because the problem wasn't with me. It was with her inability to find contentment. Claire, she said gently, you're asking Dean to compete with fantasy versions of other people's lives, social media highlights, dinner party performances, idealized stories. That's not fair to him, and it's not realistic. Session 3 was where Dr. Martinez dropped the bomb. She looked at Claire and said, "What you're doing to Dean is emotional abuse." Claire exploded. "That's ridiculous. I've never hit him. I've never called him names." Abuse isn't just physical or verbal, Dr. Martinez explained. Constantly undermining someone's self-worth through comparisons, making them feel like they're never enough, systematically eroding their confidence. That's emotional abuse. I felt something break open in my chest when she said that. Relief, maybe. Or recognition. Dean has been changing fundamental aspects of his personality, trying to become everyone except himself. That's what emotional abuse does. It makes the victim question their own worth and identity. Claire walked out of the session. She hasn't been back. We've been separated for 2 weeks now. I'm staying with my brother Rick, and honestly, I feel lighter than I have in years. I ran into Kevin, the motorcycle guy, last weekend. Turns out he's going through a messy custody battle and can barely afford rent because of child support and lawyer fees. The adventurous lifestyle Claire envied is actually him escapism from a life that fell apart when his ex-wife left him for someone more financially stable. I also found out more about the perfect couples Claire held up as examples. Mark, the handy neighbor, is an alcoholic whose wife covers for him at social events. Tom, the marathon runner, is having an affair. Brad, flash mob guy, and Emma are in marriage counseling because of his spending addiction. Turns out those grand gestures are funded with their kids' college savings. Every single perfect marriage Claire used as ammunition against ours was hiding serious problems. Dr. Martinez is helping me understand something important. I'm not competing with other husbands for my wife's approval. A healthy marriage doesn't work like that. Your spouse should be your biggest supporter, not your harshest critic constantly holding you up against impossible standards. You're not auditioning to be her husband, Dr. Martinez told me. You already got the part. Claire texted me yesterday. I found an apartment. I think we need space to figure out what we both want. I wrote back. I already know what I want. I want a wife who's proud of the man she married, not constantly shopping for an upgrade. She hasn't responded. I'm not the most exciting guy in the world. I'm not going to buy anyone a BMW or surprise them with flash mobs. But I'm loyal, I'm honest, I work hard, and I care deeply about the people I love. If that's not enough for Claire, it'll be enough for someone else. Your worth isn't determined by how you measure against every other man on the planet. You're not auditioning anymore. Edit. Overwhelming response to this. Thank you for the support and for sharing your own stories. It helps to know I'm not alone. Edit 2. For those asking about reconciliation, Claire would need to acknowledge the damage she's done and commit to real change, not just promise to be better. I'm not holding my breath.